What's going on, everybody? This is Devontae. This is Reaper Training, and you guys are now tuned in to the Reaper Motivation Podcast. Today we have so a little while ago I did a video and a podcast on the talking stage of relationships, and that one did pretty good, both on YouTube and on my podcast numbers as far as Spotify and stuff. So I said that I was gonna touch on that again. I was gonna make that little series. So we had the talking stage. We had this one's gonna be about what makes a girlfriend material. Because I went into talking stage, I didn't say what it is that actually sets aside a girl from somebody who you just having sex with and somebody who should be your girlfriend. And if you believe in marriage, then what makes a woman a wife? So we're gonna touch on that in this podcast. The next one, I think I'm gonna go into the actual relationship stage. I'm probably gonna stop at relationship stage. I don't really, I mean, because the relationship can transpire into both marriage and, well, I'll probably do a marriage one too. But anyhow, getting into that. So first things first, what makes a girlfriend material? So first and foremost, I gotta touch on not all girls are girlfriend material. You probably already know that, but that's something that a lot of people don't realize. I would say if you're single, 75% of females you meet are not going to be girlfriend material. And I'm going to tell you why. Now, you probably sitting there thinking that's a ridiculous number, but hear me out here, right? So, first and foremost, number one thing before you figure out who is and isn't is you're going to have something called deal breakers, right? So, if you're a man who's on his purpose, if you're a man who is goal oriented, you have dreams and aspirations that you're trying to accomplish, you can't just get into a relationship with anybody. All right. Now, a lot of dudes out here, they'll let the dating game beat them down. Right. You'll get out there, you get ghosted a couple of times, you get flaked on a couple of times. Next thing you know, you just want to get into a relationship with the first girl that isn't retarded, right? So you're just like, man, just fucking, I'm tired of this dating shit. I'm tired of females. But if you are on your grind and you hustling and you have a strong mindset, meaning that you don't let the dating game break you down, you will have something called a deal breaker. So first and foremost, a deal breaker is basically if you're talking to a girl off gate, right? If she has any of these, I want to say issues, but like if she has one of these things in her life, you're not going to take her seriously, even if she's super cool, right? For example, like a deal breaker for most people would be like if a girl has AIDS, they don't want to get in a relationship with her. Not saying that's like, something that's super common, but I mean, if you're trying to have kids, you obviously don't want to have AIDS, so you probably wouldn't get in a relationship with her. That's actually another one. If she can't have kids and you really want kids, that's a deal breaker there. Especially if your end goal with that person is to eventually be in a long-term relationship, right? So you're gonna have deal breakers. Now, some of you guys may think to yourself, like, man, I don't really have any deal breakers. So one of them, you should have one first and foremost. You shouldn't like just taking anybody because they're cool or because they look pretty is not enough, especially if you're goal oriented. Now, look, if you're not on your grind, if you just want a girlfriend, you're already content with where you are in life, then by all means, it doesn't really matter. You know what I mean? Why does it matter anyway? You know what I mean? You're not focusing on anything else anyhow. But if you're goal oriented, if you have dreams and aspirations, you should have deal breakers because this is going to prevent women who have distractions or are a distraction from coming into your life and knocking you off your grind, because a relationship will do that in a heartbeat. I'm telling you, I've experienced it myself. Most of you have probably experienced it, and that's something that I know personally I don't want and I will not allow to have happen to me again, because that shit was ridiculous. So first and foremost, so I gave you some examples of what should be your deal breakers. They're really mine, so I'll put it in perspective. But for one of mine is a minimum attraction is like she's at least an 8 in my eyes, right? Now some of you guys are gonna be on there, oh that's shallow, that's whatever, looks don't really matter. Whatever, bro. I look. If you don't know, men are physical creatures, right? What made you go up to that girl in the first place? You don't look at a attractive female and be like, damn, I wonder what her personality is like. You look at her and you're like, damn, I want to have sex with her because she looks good. That's the first thing that goes to your mind when you see an attractive female. If she didn't catch your eye like that, you probably wouldn't have went up and spoke to her, right? Now, looks not is in the eyes of the beholder. What somebody may see as a 9, I may see as like a 7. So what I might see as a 9, somebody might see as a 5. You know what I mean? That's all, subjective to what you think is attractive. But nonetheless, she should be at least an 8 in your eyes. First and foremost, because if you're unless you plan on cheating, if you're gonna be in a relationship with her for a long ass time, naturally you get used to things. Humans get used to things. You don't appreciate them as much. So let's say you get with a girl. Let's say you perceived her as a 7 when you got with her, right? 7 or 6. And breaking down the kind of scaling a little bit, what I used to scale. If you look at a girl as a 7, to you she's cute. You look at her like, oh yeah, she's alright. It's nothing that knocks your sock off. 8s, 9s, and 10s is the girls that you look at, you damn near drooling about. It's like, damn, she is fine. Like, you look at her, and that's what you're looking for. And then anything below a 7 is like, like, to like ugly. Like, that's basically how I do my scaling. So you need to have at least the 8. And going back into it is, if you guys are in a long-term relationship, let's say you're with a girl for 5 years, right? If you got her, she was like a 7. After about 5 years, you being used to her and being around her, and if she like gains weight or something like that, she might start looking like a 6 or a 5 to you. Now, I don't know if you guys know this, but a sexless relationship is a short-term relationship. It's not going to be too long, right? A relationship where you're not really that attracted to her, like you need to have something that after 5-10 years, you're gonna start getting tired of being around her. Now, that's just natural. It's gonna fluctuate. It might go higher, it might go lower. But if you got with a female who was like a 9, right? If after 5 years she drops to a 7, you're still physically attracted to her. Like, she can get dressed up, look at her and be like, I want her. You see what I'm saying? That's going to, one, prevent you from cheating. I don't know. Everybody's different. Me personally, I don't believe in cheating in relationships because, for one, that's a whole lot of bullshit that I don't want to deal with. That's a whole lot of arguments and sneaking around and all that stuff and dumb shit. I got things going on. I don't have time to be sneaking around trying to cheat on somebody. That's stupid. So that's number one. Two, um, it's just, if you don't want to if you want to keep that flair in a relationship, you want to be happy to be around that person. What also affects looks could also be, their personality. A girl who's a 9 but you can't stand to be around her is gonna be like a 7 to you, right? And I could guarantee you, if after 5 years, if you with her and she got an attitude problem, you ain't gonna want to be around. It's gonna drop from like a 7 to like a fucking a 4. You gonna hate being around her, right? So, and it goes the opposite way too. If she's a 7 in your eyes, she might go up to an 8 if she has a really cool personality. I know that's happened to me before, where I've seen a girl as like she's like a 7, maybe a 6 on a good day, and then I get around her, she's super cool, and I'm like, man, she's more attractive in your eyes, right? So, but as a man, most men cannot, like, if you're a man and a girl sees you as like a 6, if your personality is super dope, if you dress really good and you have a good amount of money and a good career, she could see you as an 8, right? It could raise up, women they are physical. I don't want to make you sit there and think that, oh, I could be fat and not get a haircut and I could get anybody. And that's not the case. But they can, their mental stimulation can change to where they could date somebody who they wouldn't naturally say is normally their type. That's not the case with men. All right. If you There's no way a 5 or a 6 can make me think of her as a 9. I don't think there's any type of, don't matter how cool she is or anything like that, it's not possible, right? So, and if, look, I'm not saying that's every dude. Some of y'all might be like, I could take a 5 and love her forever. look, don't lie to me, don't lie to yourself. But if that's what you think, then cool, whatever. You know what I mean? And that might be true for you, but generally speaking, it's not gonna be the case for most dudes. So that's definitely a deal breaker, and I should be, if you were asking for advice, that's what I would say would be a deal breaker for you. Um, Another one for mine is no sex related jobs. Right now, I don't know what the fuck is this new trend where like any dude with like expectations or standards is all of a sudden insecure or not a real man or whatever the fuck. I'm not dating. Like I said in the last video, I don't want a fucking porn star as the mother of my children. I'm sorry, I don't want it. I don't want a stripper. I don't want whatever the fuck. I don't want you to have OnlyFans. I'm just not. That's a total deal breaker. I'm not with it. You got people that's in the open relationships and shit like that, and cuckold and people letting dudes fuck their wives. Look, that's their business. That's your problem. I'm not doing that dumb shit. I'm sorry. It ain't no fucking. There's no way on earth that I'm gonna be cool with that. That's just a deal breaker. Now that would be as obvious to most dudes, but some people are cool with that. You're gonna allow your girl to be a porn star or something like that, but that's not something I'm gonna bear with. But there should be deal breakers, and all this stuff is gonna be found out in the talking stage. Like more than likely on their first date, you might not know she has an OnlyFans, right? There's no way to tell. Like if she's like you just met, the first thing she ain't gonna say out her mouth is, "Hey, I got an OnlyFans. I'm a porn star." Shit, there was a girl I was talking to not too long ago that has one, and I didn't know about it until she did a promotion on her Snapchat. I was like, oh, well, that's not good. I mean, I ain't judging. I'm like, yeah, I'm cool on that, but whatever. Um, but those are the differences. So now another thing, this isn't necessarily a deal breaker, but this is definitely something I would say is how you know if you have a girl with girlfriend material is effort. Effort is if I was to say what is the first thing that makes me take a female seriously when I first meet her, the number one thing is effort. Honestly, I would go so far to say if she doesn't show any effort in the talking stage or you just dealing with her in general, you're not supposed to take her serious. Don't take her serious at all. It's going to be straight up just dates every now and again and sets. You should not like waste your time thinking of a relationship with this person, because effort is whatever they're doing in the talking stage. That's like I'll say like your interview process, right? Or your probation. If she's not showing effort when you guys are just talking, why would she then show effort once you made her your girlfriend? Just let that sink through. Like what would be the point? Like if she went 3-4 months when she just met you, she's trying to give her best impression and show no effort, what would then now, you're my girlfriend, or here's a ring, or whatever the case may be, why the fuck would she then start doing it then? And by and large, shit, if you start dating and she's still not showing effort, she's for damn sure ain't gonna show no effort when y'all get married. It's gonna go even worse, right? And as far as what constitutes as effort, I'll give you my examples of what I think is effort. You might think something different, but first and foremost, does she touch you first, right? And that seems like it's super. Well, let me not say touch. Does she make contact with you first ever, right? So if you're always having a call, if you're always having to text first, if you're always having to do all that first, that's not any type of effort. That means really she's not that attracted to you first and foremost. But that's like, if you have to do all that, that's not effort. Um if she set any dates, right? Are you always having to set the dates? Does she never have any type of suggestions, or is she ever trying to say, hey, when's the next time we're gonna meet up or something like that? If you're always setting dates, that's not effort. And again, you should this is another thing, and this is one of my deal breakers also, as long as what I see is putting effort. Is she into fitness? Now, let me touch on this real quick, right? And this is like a new one. Like this is like something recently, I'll say like in the last like 2 months, that I've added to like what's a deal breaker and what I consider effort. If my life is not revolved around, my life is, fitness is a big part of my life. It's very intricate. I care about my body. I care about being in shape. I care about looking good. I care about what I eat. I care about, you know, intermittent fasting and things like that. I give a fuck about it. All right. There's no way I can then be in a relationship with somebody who gives no fucks about their body. They don't go to the gym. They don't eat right. They don't care how big they get. They don't want to do anything. And it really put into perspective because I was thinking about it. I was like, you know what? I was dealing with this one girl a few months back. And I remember she was a bigger girl. And she was like, oh, yeah, I'm trying to lose weight. Da, da, da. And I was like, oh, that's cool. She actually did lose some weight. At that point in time, she was dieting. And I was like, she was like, yeah, I'm stuck because it's just going really, really slow. And I was like, well, have you been exercising at all or training? She was like, nah, like I hate exercising. So I was like, you just gotta find something that you enjoy to do. Like, you got skating, you got swimming, water polo. There's all types of ways to exercise. She was like, nah, I just hate exercising altogether. And I sat back and I thought, I was like, you hate exercise altogether? Like, what? Like, how do you hate moving your body? Like, you're like, all you want to do is just kind of lounge around and eat snacks and hope that shit just works out. Like, I was just like, that's such a polarized opposite of like the way I live. How can you then make that a girlfriend, right? What how would that fit with each other? Now, don't get me wrong, opposites attract, but if you're somebody who's big into church, why would you get into a relationship with a fucking atheist? Right? That may seem extreme to you, but honestly, if you give a fuck about your body, if you're big on eating right, going to the gym, staying in shape, you know what I mean, watching your figure, why would you go into a relationship with somebody who doesn't do that at all? Not even a little bit. And that could be a dilemma for some people. It was a dilemma for me when I first thought about it because me personally, I like bigger women, like what they would call BBWs. But I'm like, it's not, it's not conducive to my lifestyle. I don't just eat snacks and lay around all fucking day. I mean, that's not me saying that all bigger women do that, but I give a fuck about my body. You know what I mean? I don't want to just drink and eat snacks and hang out. That's just not something that I want to do all the fucking time. So that's a deal breaker. And as you guys get on your grind and shit like that, you're gonna find those type of deal breakers too. You know what I'm saying? And another thing is with effort, don't confuse don't confuse effort with things like just how cool she is when you guys are around, right? Because you can be blinded by two things: sets and their vibe, right? And the reason why I say blinded is if she's not showing any effort, if she's not putting forth the effort to be around you or talk to you, then the sets and vibes don't mean anything because once y'all start dating, she's not gonna do that anymore, or it'll be a lot lessened anyway, right? Because she has no reason to. She already got you. She got the prize. It's almost like if you see people when they get a job, right? When you first get to that job, you on time, you working hard, you there 10 minutes early, and then once you're there for about 6, 7 months, a year, it's like, I don't even get no fuck. You start seeing these motherfuckers sleeping at work and shit like that. Like, you don't cherish things the same way when you get relationships. You start getting comfortable, right? And that's something that you want to look out for. And like I said before, all of this is shown in the talking stage. And if you're a man with goals, if you're a man with ambition and things like that, you need a talking stage. Because I'm telling you right now, as sure as the sun's gonna come up tomorrow morning, if you don't get a girl who is conducive to your goals, you're going to stop caring about your goals. You're not gonna work no more overtime. You're not gonna work on no more of your schoolwork. You're not gonna everything's gonna be revolved around her, and she's gonna distract the fuck out you, and you're gonna get fat. You're gonna stop grinding, and 20 years from now, if y'all together that long, or I won't even say that long, 2 years from now, you're gonna be right back where you started before you met her. Well, less than where you started when you met her. So you need somebody who you can cherish those goals with, who's gonna make you chase those goals. And with all the stuff that I just listed, with the effort, with the deal breakers. That's not all gonna come out in a couple weeks, right? You're not gonna find all these things out after talking to her for like a week and a half or 2 weeks. That's gonna take some time. So honestly, if you're somebody who's goal oriented, your talking stage should be no bare minimum, like 3 months. Honestly, I would say four, but at least three, because at least you can, like, for example, right? If you're in a relationship, the honeymoon stage is what, like 6 months? At least halfway through or more than halfway through that, you'll start seeing the real them slowly but surely, right? And there's this new thing out now where women are like what they call it, dating with a purpose, right? Where they say, they're not with the talking, they just want to get straight into a relationship. Do you like me or not after a couple of dates? That's bullshit. Do not. This is another thing. Do not let anyone bully you into a fucking relationship. Y'all need to start showing some strength, right? I made a video on YouTube about being an alpha male. What I could conceive an alpha male to be is someone who doesn't allow others to take advantage of him or bully him, right? And that could be in a bunch of different aspects. That could, there's other aspects to it, but those are the two things when I think of an alpha male. You don't let people take advantage of you. You don't let people bully you, and also what I would also add to that is that you have confidence. If you have those three things, to me, you're generally speaking, you're close to an alpha male, right? There's other things that go into that, but those are like the three foundation blocks, right? You cannot let just because her ass is fat, just because y'all have a good time together, she has good sex, you can't just get into a relationship with that person, right? You can't just let them bully you into thinking, hey, I'm dating with a purpose. I'm not gonna wait no 2, 3, 4 months. Date me now or I'm leaving, right? And if you're in a relationship right now and you're going through some shit, because more than likely a lot of y'all, you let her do that. She done finessed you into it. She probably done bullied your ass into getting the ring. And now you're sitting there looking stupid like, I can't stand this bitch. Like, how did I let that happen? You let her bully you into a relationship. That's not, first and foremost, you don't want a relationship to start like that anyway. Because first of all, every time she wants something, she's going to use that same tactic that you set that precedent with to get what she wants. So she wants more attention. Let's say, you're at the gym, you're working hard, you're working overtime so you can get your credit right. But she wants more of your time. Guess what? What she did last time was she stopped having sex with you. She made an ultimatum and you took it. What you think she gonna do now? She gonna kick and scream, throw a fuss. She gonna start not letting you have sex. She gonna start, bearing down on you and showing an attitude because that's what worked before. Whereas if you set the precedent where we take our time and you speak to me and we talk about it, then guess what? If she wants more of your time, she'll sit you down like an adult, be mature and be like, hey, I want to see you a bit more. And at that point, you can either say, we'll work something out, or you can say, no, right now I'm a little bit too busy, right? But what you set as a precedent in the beginning of the relationship will be what's going to happen later on in the relationship. So do not let that girl bully you into a relationship. And if you look on Instagram, if you look on Facebook, everything is dating with a purpose. Everything is, you got to do this, you got to do that. If you don't do that, you're not a man. Don't let that shit sway your emotions. Don't let that shit change what you got going on. Because I'm telling you right now, if you get into a relationship too early, if you don't do the talking stage, if you ignore having deal breakers, if you ignore how much effort she's showing, you are going to be miserable. And then you're going to be another one of these dudes out here, fat as shit, no goals, living check to check, and more than likely with child support and alimony because you probably married her, she made your life miserable, and then left your stupid ass. All that comes from you just ignoring what's going on and not what you need to be doing, but what you should be doing with your time, and that is being the best person you can be. You get one life. Enjoy that life to the fullest. There's no need to rush things. Every time I talk to people or I interact with dudes and they get married after like being with this girl for like a year or like 6 months, it's like, what's the rush? Is she going anywhere? Like, if you telling me that this woman's gonna love you any less if you don't marry her after a year, should you be with them? Like what the fuck? Like I don't know. I don't know whether it's like these fucking songs, like these like sad boy hours or whatever the case may be, but I don't understand what's everybody's big issue with just waiting a little bit. Give it some. Take your fucking time. If you're in your 20s or in your 30s, you're not old. I know it may feel that way, especially if you're a dude. Honestly, bro, if you're in shape, you have a good paying job, and you know you're charismatic, you can date, find women well into your 40s, probably into your 50s. I know 50-year-olds right now that got drip, they in shape, they got good money, and they live their best life. It doesn't matter. Like if you're a dude, you can do that for a long ass time. Take your fucking time. Like I don't understand what everybody's rush is with getting into things. Now, like I said in the last podcast, me, I'm a bit different. I'm very peaceful by myself. You know, I'm an introvert. I like being to my not alone, but I enjoy my free time, and also my tolerance for bullshit is super low. And that's another thing. If you're normally at peace with yourself, if you have goals and things like that, you want to be careful on who you pick to bring into your life anyway. I know one thing with myself. When like the reason why I don't jump into a relationship is because I done experienced being in a relationship where the person stresses you out more than you were when you were single, and that shit is a pain in the ass. I don't got time for the dumb shit. I like, you have to contribute something special to my life to for me to embrace having a relationship. Because if not, if you don't bring anything to the table, you're just gonna be more than likely just pissing me off. You're gonna add more stress and more distraction than what I had before. So bringing something to the table is huge with me. You know what I'm saying? So and honestly, if you're big on goals, it needs to be huge with you too. You know what I mean? This whole old adage, pussy wants the world. Pussy wants the world for tender dick beta males. Let's keep it a buck. That's what runs the world for. The motherfuckers who can't get no girls, they just hound and they thirsty as fuck. It runs the world for them. The right female who looks good enough comes along, they can make them do whatever the fuck they want. That's them, because they not on their purpose, because they don't have any confidence. That's their problem. For dudes like me, dudes like alpha males, dudes like us, pussy doesn't run anything. Not a goddamn thing. What do you bring to the table? I don't give a fuck about that. What you got, 3 million other people got. Well, more than that, but 3 million people, 3 million other people in my general area have this exact same thing. What do you bring to the table? As long as you got that attitude, you're not gonna be taken advantage of. You're not gonna be bullied into a relationship. You're not gonna get in a relationship with a fucking headache. What do you bring to the table? I mean, I'm trying to. The whole point of this channel, a lot of it has to do with motivation and goals. That's why when I touch on these relationship aspects, they all come from the standpoint of what do you want out of your life. You know what I mean? Let's fuck the whole aspect of, we gotta get married, we gotta have this, that, and whatever. What do you want out of your life, right? And I feel like that's something that people are forgetting. You know what I mean? People are forgetting the fact that us as individuals, we all want something in our life. We only got so much time on this earth, dog. We only got so much time. Why the fuck do you want to spend 30, 40 years in a miserable fucking relationship? I go to the shipyard and I interact with these dudes, and they miserable. Like, they are really miserable. They come to work, they pissed off, they stressed out, they talking about their wife. They don't get their own checks. Their wife gets their check and they get whatever she gives them. It's just like these dudes are a prisoner in their own fucking homes in life. Why live like that? You don't have to live like that. You can have a good life. You can find joys and other things in life than just look at monks. Well, not saying you gotta be a monk and abstain from women altogether, but y'all know what I'm talking about. There's plenty of people out there who are very happy and live very happy lives without being stuck in these terrible relationships. And that's not for me to say that you're never gonna find a decent relationship, but don't rush and take some bullshit because you're kind of lonely. And if you're kind of lonely, that's mainly because you don't have anything going on with your life. Taking myself for example, like I said, this last, I want to say, week, I said week. These last couple months, I haven't been focused on females a lot. Like I said in the last video, the stop living for the opposite sex. I've taken off, not completely. Like I still talk to girls. I'm still on apps and shit like that. But I'm not hounding for shit. Like the only thing that's on my mind right now is getting in good shape, being the best grappler I could be, right? Get my money right, get my style right. You know, I need more clothes. I need to dress better, and just feeling good about myself. The other day I was out and I was wearing my new clothes. I got off of StockX. You know, started losing some weight. You know, I got a haircut. I'm walking around. I just felt good, right? It just felt good to give a fuck about myself, to groom myself, to focus on myself. I didn't feel good when I was all fat and drinking every fucking day. Like when I went to Orlando for a trip back in I want to say April. It might have been April or May. It was something like that. But I went out there for a trip and I didn't feel like me. I'm drinking a lot. I felt sluggish. I felt super bloated. I'm taking pictures and I'm looking at the pictures like, yo, I look fat and fucking disgusting. You know, I couldn't train. I'm just like, yo, what am I doing with myself? I'm blowing all this money, fucking my money up. I'm like, this doesn't feel good. You know, I'm chasing females. I had a I had a realization when I was out there, right? And I talked about how fitness before in dating on my YouTube channel, how like I experience a lot different things when I'm in shape versus when I'm fat. And I'm out there and I'm like, yo, because I'm trying to talk to certain females, and albeit they could just not find me attractive, that's very possible too. I never X that out, but I'm like, the way people act towards me when I'm in shape is a lot different. And I'm sitting there and I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, yo, why would I, if I was a female, put myself in their shoes? Why would I want somebody who doesn't even give a fuck about their own body? Ain't that something like honestly, like when you sit back and think about it, and you look at these videos, you got like these incels and shit like that, and you do talk about how they can't get a date, and you look at how they carry themselves. They super overweight. They don't have a haircut. They just, you know, they don't dress right, you know. And then they sit there and they say, "Why can't I get a girl to just love me for me?" If you look at it, females they put on a boatload of makeup. No, not all of them, but females put on makeup. They get their hair done. They get their nails done. The ones that care go to the gym. They do all these things to make themselves desirable. And you think that you should just be able to walk up out of bed, the fucked up ass hair. You ain't had a haircut in a month. Your clothes is all fucked up. And you're just supposed to just get a female just because you're a good dude. And top of that, a lot of these motherfuckers don't even have fucking jobs. Why the fuck? What makes you think? And this is what and you may think I'm talking to you like in a down way. This is what I said to myself. I said this to myself when I was out in Orlando. When I came back, I said, why do I deserve a bad female? I'm out of shape. You know, I was carrying myself. One thing I do when I gain weight is I start dressing a lot better and stuff like that. But I'm like, what what about me makes me somebody who deserves a super bad female? I'm not doing anything. I'm not watching what I eat. I'm not getting my credit together. I don't have a house. What the fuck? And when you ask yourself those type of questions, first and foremost, you're not gonna accept anything less once you get in shape. Like one thing with me now I'm getting my body right and stuff like that, and I'm getting myself together. I'm getting my finances right. I'm not tolerating. I'm not settling for shit. I'm settling for a goddamn thing. What I'm gonna settle for? I done worked all this hard. I'm not settling for nothing, and that's how y'all should feel. You should have so much confidence in yourself that you're not settling for a goddamn thing. You know why? Because you worked hard. You put them in restless hours. You was up late nights. You wake up early in the morning. You go to the gym. You go to work. You go to school. You do all these things. You deserve the best you should have. Y'all need to start looking at yourselves as a prize. I know me right now. I look at myself as a prize. And that's not a cocky thing. That's because, you know what? I give a fuck about myself. I value myself. A lot of men nowadays don't value themselves. You look at yourself and you only look at a fucking wallet. You don't want to dress nice. You don't want to get a haircut. You don't want to get in shape. You need to love yourself. Fuck loving somebody else. How you gonna, if you love someone more than you love you, then you're just gonna get taken advantage of. I'm sorry to tell you, I'm the one that's gonna put it to you right now. If you love someone more than you love yourself, you're gonna get taken advantage of. You're gonna be heartbroken. I saw a post where I think it was Chris Rock or Eddie Murphy or somebody like that, and they were like, a man's only loved for what he can provide. Guess what? If you only give a fuck about me if I can buy you something, then don't be in my life. I don't fucking need you. I could be single and enjoy myself. I can go on trips. I got friends. I got females that I deal with. I don't give a fuck about you. You only gonna be in my life if you give a fuck about me. That's how I'm carrying it. That's how you need to carry it about yourself. What's that? This thing that they've been saying. I don't play about me no more. That's 100%. I don't play about myself. I know, cause you know why? Cause I put in all this time, and I know I got a limited time on Earth. Somebody could come in my fucking house right now, blow my shit back, and I would know that if they was to come and do that, I lived life to the fullest. I enjoyed myself. I had a good time. I lived life to what I felt I could, and I chased my goals the best I believed I could. And that's what we need, bro. That's how you should really carry your life. It doesn't, this whole thing with taking the back seat to everybody else. That's done with. It's a new world out there. So let me get off my soapbox. I had to get y'all that motivational speech, man, because I want you guys to be great. You know what I mean? This shit just means a lot to me. I love being able to, hopefully this gets out there and it reaches somebody who was really in a tough spot, because you know what? We need to be the greatest we can be. But this one went a little longer than I thought it would. But y'all go check out the YouTube channel, Reaper Motivation. Keeps tuning in. We're going to have some more videos for y'all. I'm glad I could finally get this post up. I've been waiting to do this for a little bit. And this is Devontae. This is Reaper Training. Y'all have a good day, man.